Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be unto you all. This is Bassam El Shammaa, historian and international lecturer in history and Egyptology, talking to you from Cairo, Egypt. This is my message number 4 to the world. I'm defining here genocide. What is happening in Gaza, what's happening in Palestine, all through the last 75 years and before, plus many other historical events dealing with the West and the Far East with their genocide projects and plans, dealing with the Muslims and dealing with the Arabs and dealing with the Philistines, as we all saw in Gaza, and we are still suffering from what's happening in Gaza against hospitals, churches, mosques, and armless people, children, big, huge number of killings and bombings. What is genocide? إبادة in Arabic, or إبادة الشعوب, or إبادة جماعية, or الإبادة الجماعية, or القتل العرقي, أو القتل الجماعي المنظم، أو إبادة الأجناس. This is in Arabic some of the translations dealing with the expression and the term genocide. Now, genocide has been defined as the deliberate, and that's what we all saw with the destructive, evil military machine of the West, and especially the great support by Biden's United States of America to the Zionists and the occupiers of Palestine. Now, the deliberate and systematic destruction, it's been going on for years, that's systematic destruction of a group of people, in this case the Palestinians or the Palestinians or the Palestinians, of people because of their ethnicity, nationality, religion, or race. That's the definition of the Encyclopedia Britannica, which its country is supporting the killing of the Philistines, by the way. Now, I'm aware of all the hidden organizations that are playing all those presidents and prime ministers in the West like puppets. I'm aware of that. And we are all aware of that. It is not a big secret to hide that the huge Jewish organizations, especially the financial ones, are in control. Unfortunately, they are giving the decisions, and they will choose a mindless person like Biden or other prime ministers in England or whatever, and they will put him in front of the TV shows and the TV cameras so that he can represent all their destructive decisions. So, I am aware that the populace, in its majority of the United States, because I've dealt with the Americans a lot in my work in the last 38 years, and I've dealt with the British. I stayed at their houses when I was lecturing in the United States and when I was working and lecturing in England. I have been around, I have been around. We talked, we had discussions. The majority of the Americans and the British that I knew all through my lifetime are amazingly kind, beautifully reacting towards all what's right. To the point that I remember once I was talking to my friend in Cambridge and I told her, listen, yani, let's change your name into Fatma and you become one of us. Because she was actually doing, not being a Muslim, but actually doing and acting all what is required from us as Muslims. She was the nicest, all right? She was not a Muslim, but she was the nicest person. So that gives an example. We are not looking at people like so, because if you read our Quran, okay, if you read our holy book that we believe are the words of Allah, God, Lord, the greatest, mightiest God, It says, I've got my religion, you've got yours. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. No, there is a verse, there is a sentence in a verse in the Quran that states clearly, no compulsion in religion. No, لا إكراه في الدين. صدق الله العظيم. Okay? So, going back to the term genocide, the term is derived from a Greek genus, G-N-O-S, genus, which means race, tribe, or nation, and the Latin side, genocide. Side is a Latin word for killing. So it's killing a race, killing a tribe, killing a nation. And that's exactly what's happening in Palestine for years. Now, the irony is that the man who coined this expression was Raphael Lemkin. He was a Polish-born jurist who served as an advisor, can you believe that, to the United States Department of War. Now, the irony becomes even bigger when you know that that was during the World War II, which we all know how it ended, by dropping 2 atomic bombs for the first and the last time in the history of mankind. Of mankind. We don't have any other nation in the history of the world till today, 2023 October, as Bassam El Shammaa is talking to you as a historian, that we got a country or a nation or a tribe or even people, group of people who dropped 2 atomic bombs. That's genocide. That's not war. That's not fighting. That's killing nation. Okay? Because if the Zionists wanted to fight Hamas for what Hamas did to them on the 7th of October, soldier to a soldier, no lying and no unproven statements, like they entered a show, a musical concert, and killed 200 and something people by spraying them. Now, we didn't see one video of that. We didn't see one shot, even by a camera or by a mobile or by a cellular phone, of those 200 being killed and sprayed by machine guns by Hamas during when they were enjoying their concert. Regardless the fact that they were enjoying that concert on a land which does not belong to them. Everybody who's living on the land of Palestine is a Zionist. Okay? That's the definition of a Zionist. A Zionist is a person who could be a Jew or could not be a Jew, okay, but believes in the creation and the establishment and the continuation of the state, of what is called the state of the Jews, or the Jews state, or the Jews nation, or the state of Israel. Okay? Now, we don't use those words. We Arabs and Egyptians and people who know history and they know terminology and they know etymology and all of that, we know that there is nothing called you come to a land from far away, put your feet on it, being treated like kings among its people. The Palestinians were so kind to the Jews before the Jews took power, all right? And read your books. Read your books. You will find how kind the Jews were treated in Palestine, how kind the Jews were treated in Al-Andalus, in Andalusia, now Spain and Portugal, okay? And even when Al-Quds, called Jerusalem, has been freed during its history by Muslims in the days of Caliph Omar ibn al-Khattab, radiallahu anhu ardah, okay, Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi, Saladin, the famous Muslim leader in the 1100s. Now, see how it worked. See when Salah ad-Din entered Al-Quds and cleaned the Al-Aqsa Mosque of what the Crusaders, the Franks, did to it. Great humiliations to the mosque they did, okay? And after he did that, when he entered, one of the first decisions that Salah ad-Din took, read your books, is spreading platoons around the streets of Al-Quds, Jerusalem, to protect the Christians living in Al-Quds, in Jerusalem, if anybody would try to attack them. After the Muslims entered Al-Quds, after the Crusaders were defeated. Now, how merciful is this? Okay? Now, we all also remember the massacre of Cathari during the Albigensian crusade in the 13th century. And this event, this destructive event, this ugly, evil people, sometimes cited as the first modern case of genocide. Cathari, from the Greek katharos, means pure, is a heretical Christian sect that flourished in Western Europe in the 12th, 13th century, and the Cathari professed kind of a new Manichaean dualism. They believe that there are two principles, one good and the other is evil, and the material world is evil. And they prohibited the physical intercourses, and they had their own system. They performed massacres. This is the massacre of those people. They killed people. So how come you are a believer in the religion of peace? We all know that Christianity is the religion of peace. We all remember how Al-Masih, Sayyidina Al-Masih, okay, the Sayyidina Al-Masih, peace be unto him, and his beloved, respectable mother, Mary, peace be unto her. Do you know that in the Quran Kareem, in the book of Muslims, out of 114 chapters, we have a long chapter in Quran. We believe in every single letter written in the Quran, the words of God. All right, the words of Allah. We Muslims believe in the Quran. You will notice that there is a chapter, a long chapter in the Quran titled Maryam, titled Mary, peace be unto her. See how many times Moses, Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, Prophet Moses, peace be unto him, was mentioned in the Quran. See how many times Jesus, we call him Al-Masih, the Prophet Isa, peace be unto him, was mentioned in the Quran. And how he was raised in honor, and he was not crucified. He was raised to Allah in honor. All right? So I don't know if this is evil from the side of the people who are killing innocent children. Yes, of course it is. Now, you tell the people of Gaza to go south so that they don't get involved with Hamas. So the people took their belongings because their houses were bombed. So whatever their hands can hold, and they started marching towards the south of Gaza, as you advised them, as the Zionists advised them. What did they do? They were bombarded. They were bombarded on their way. They were bombarded on their way. People, armless people. Why? Why? So if this is not genocide, I do not know what's genocide. If this is not genocide, I do not know what's genocide. Killing children, killing over 1,000 children in a hospital, that's genocide. Hospital, for God's sake. Bombing hospitals, bombing the third most important church in the world, Christian church. Why? Why? Bombing mosques. People go to the mosque to pray to God. Our salutation, as you well know, is Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you. Peace be unto you. Stop genocide. You Zionists know for sure, Jews all over the world, the whole world, know that there will be no way on earth the Palestinians and the Arabs and the Muslims will leave Palestine to the hands of the Zionists. We all know that. We all know the Zionists are going to get out. They are going to get out like they got out in many cases in our history and in many places in our history. Read your books, read your history. How many times, how many countries from Europe to Russia to Asia to places expelled the Jews? All right? Stop the genocide. This is evil. This is not correct. There's something wrong with you guys. There's something wrong in your brains, in your minds. You are not normal. You are not normal human beings. How could you sleep when you are the person who bombarded by a jet fighter or military machine bombarded 1,000 people in a hospital? Stop the electricity, stop the power, stop the water, stop the food, stop even the aid. The Egyptian aid and the Arab aid and the world's aid kept on waiting with the aid outside the doors and outside the gates of Rafah for days until the Jews, Zionists, permitted them to enter. Where are everybody? Where is the world? Where is the world? Where is humanity? Where is humanity? Bassam El Shammaa, Cairo, Egypt.